This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Agan Erev Shabbos. The Shabbos is Shabbos Chazon. Chazon Yishayahu ben Amitz. We've said this over many times over the years, but how could we not say it over again in Erev Shabbos Chazon? In the Sefer Ohev Yisrael, Ohev Yisrael is Rav Avram Yeshua Heschel, the Apta Rav. We had the zchus to be in his shul in Mezhbizh. The Ohev Yisrael writes, at the end of Parshas Devarim, he has a section on Shabbos Chazon. Shabbos Chazon hu yoiser gadol b'mala mikol Shabbosos hashana. Shabbos Chazon is the greatest Shabbos of the year. Why would that be? Why would this Shabbos be the greatest Shabbos of the year? He says, I was similarly asked to explain a Chazal that the Parshas Drachim deals with, a wondrous Chazal, that there was no Yom Tov for Klal Yisrael like the day the Beis Hamikdash was destroyed. How could that be? Says the Apta Rav. We know Chazal tell us, Chayiv Adam lifgoy esishtay b'shah sheyotz l'derech. When a person is about to set off on the road and he's about to part from his wife, person is obligated to show special affection to one's wife. It's a chiyuv. There's a mitzvah of oina. It's a dairaisa. Chayiv Adam lifgoy esishtay b'shah sheyotz l'derech. Why is that? Why is a person obligated to visit attention upon one's wife before they travel? The answer is because absence makes the heart grow long. In other words, grow fond. When a person is together with somebody else, they take each other for granted. So even though they may love each other and they may have great affection for each other, but it lays very dormant. However, when a person is about to part from a loved one, it stirs up, it awakens the affection. And in that case, the wife desires it. And the halacha is a person has to respond in kind. If the woman wants it, then a person has to fulfill her wishes. So, Chayv Adam lifka esishtay b'shah sheyotz l'derech. You know, when you go to an airport, in an airport you see displays of great affection. Why? Because it could be, we were just trying to remember which airport it was. I don't remember, but I saw there was a family, a husband, a wife, uncles, aunts. They were huddled. They were like in a huddle, like in a football, and they were all, arm in arm with each other, like a whole big extended family. And they were like in such emotional embrace, right? You see at an airport very intense emotion come out. Why? Because when people are about to part from each other, it bestirs emotion. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu destroyed the Beis Hamikdash, He was saying goodbye to us. Not forever. He's coming back to us. But Hoisa ki almana, like an almana, like someone whose husband went overseas. So even though we were definitely not doing the right thing, and we were sinful, and because we were so sinful, Hashem had to punish us, but at the end of the day, He had to say goodbye to us. And even though He had to punish us, He still loves us. We're still His son, we're still His child. And the moment of the Churban Beis Hamikdash, and the moment of that goodbye, awakened extreme, intense longing of HaKadosh Baruch Hu for Klal Yisrael and love of HaKadosh Baruch Hu for Klal Yisrael. The Bnei Yissaschar utilize this idea to explain, we spoke about this on Shabbos in Amsterdam, why the Gemara tells us in Baba Basra that Bizman she'ein oisin utzaner shel makayim, the Kruvim would be back to back. And yet the Gemara says in Yuma, at the time of the Churban, the Kruvim faced each other. Not only did they face each other, they embraced each other. Why would that be? So the Bnei Yissaschar brings, I believe from the Maggid of Mezrich, that even though we were not doing Ritzayin Shal Makam, at the moment of the Churban, HaKadosh Baruch Hu was saying goodbye to us, and that goodbye awakened such a powerful love of HaKadosh Baruch Hu to Klal Yisrael. By the way, he says that's the reason why Mashiach is born on Tisha B'Av, because the goodbye of Tisha B'Av awakened such a powerful love that visitation, so to speak, that zivug was a zivug that creates a Mashiach. And the Oyev Yisrael says that's the reason why Shabbos Chazon is the most powerful Shabbos of the year. He doesn't explain more. I would interpret that since Shabbos contains in it the Kedusha of the upcoming week, so as terrible a day that Tisha B'Av is, but it was the goodbye from Hashem to Klal Yisrael, which awakened the most intense love in the history of the world. In other words, if you were to ask, at one moment in world history, did HaKadosh Baruch Hu display a love and affection to Klal Yisrael more than any other time? So you would say, I don't know, Kabbalas HaTorah was like a chuppah, Kriyas Yamsuf. No. The day Hashem destroyed the Beis HaMikdash was the greatest sign of affection and display of affection. What did Hashem do? There was a certain korva and ahava that was brought out at the time of Tisha B'Av that was unparalleled. And that ahava and that kedusha is latent in the Shabbos before, which is Shabbos Chazon. And therefore, the Oyev Yisrael says this Shabbos is Yoiser Gadol B'Mayla Mikol Shabbosos Hashana. There are Sifrei Chasidus that bring that the tefillos of this Shabbos are ma'ala, all the tefillos of the whole year. Be it as it may, we know there's also an idea that on Shabbos there's no churban. The minhag Yisrael is that even if you don't, is that we do use chamin on Erev Shabbos. Even though during the 9 days one is not roichetz b'chamin, on Shabbos, for L'Kavod Shabbos, you're allowed to be roichetz b'chamin. You're allowed to eat basar. By Shal Shudas as well. On Shabbos there's no churban. We mentioned that the Gemara in Taanis says that the Beis HaMikdash was destroyed both the first time and the second time, Matzoi Shabbos. Why? The Maral says, because Churban Beis HaMikdash is only possible when you're moving away from Shabbos. The only time of the week that you're moving away from Shabbos, Sunday you're headed toward Shabbos. The only time of the week you're moving away from Shabbos is Matzah Shabbos. The only time of the week that allows for Churban Beis HaMikdash is Matzah Shabbos. And therefore, Kabbalah Shabbos is the time designated to yearn for the coming of Mashiach. And that is why the main subject of L'Chadoidi is that Hashem should rebuild the Beis HaMikdash, restore Malchus Beis David, restore Nevuah, expand Yerushalayim. Because if Churban is only possible moving away from Shabbos, then the time to anticipate Binyan is awaiting Shabbos. So, as important as Kabbalah Shabbos always is, there is no greater Kabbalah Shabbos than the Kabbalah Shabbos of Shabbos Chazon, the greatest Shabbos of the year. And as we anticipate the Shabbos, we await the coming of the Geula for Klal Yisrael, that Hashem should elevate the kavod of Klal Yisrael, the kavod of the Torah, and the kavod of the Shechina. Agun Shabbos, everyone. Bracha v'atzlacha, and we will, Bez Hashem, there'll be shiur on Sunday. You could join us. There's an Eon shiur at 11:15 a.m. And Monday, Bez Hashem, there'll be the Agar de Pirka. And have a wonderful Shabbos. Kol Tov.
Kol Tov.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.